In this screencast, I'm going to show you how you can save time when you're grading essays by adding audio comments to your students' essays and assignments rather than written comments. After all, most people can speak faster than they can type or write by hand. And even if you can type or write quickly, it gets physically tiring to be doing that on dozens of student essays. Additionally, providing audio comments on students' essays actually gives them, I think, better feedback. Thanks to the inflection of your voice, you can be more nuanced with audio feedback than you can be with written comments. So in this screencast, I'm going to show you two things. First, I'll show you what audio comments look like and sound like in a student's essay. Second, I'll show you how to configure Adobe Acrobat Reader, which is a free program, so that you can start adding audio comments to your students' essays. So let's start by seeing what a student would experience when he or she receives back from you an essay that contains your audio comments. You'll see that there are 3 red icons on this section of the essay, and let's listen to each one in turn. We double-click them. This introduction needs to be developed more. Having a single sentence as your introduction is a sure sign that you haven't fully thought out what you are going to argue in your essay. Now, let's listen to the next one. This is a comma splice, which means that you're trying incorrectly to join 2 separate sentences with a comma. What you need to do is either replace the comma with a semicolon, or else with a period, that is a full stop, or else add some sort of conjunction that will join the 2 sentences correctly. And finally, let's listen to this one. In this paragraph, I think you're oversimplifying the issue. What I would like you to do is go to the website for our course in our learning management system and review the YouTube video that explains the causes of the American Civil War. Okay, adding those comments to the PDF of the student's essay was easy and fast, and as I said earlier, I think it provides the student with more nuanced and targeted feedback. Let me show you now how you can do this. The first thing you need to do is instruct your students to submit their essays electronically as PDFs. Then, if you don't already have a recent version of Adobe Acrobat Reader, go to this website and download it. Version 11 or higher will have the features that you need. Then, open a student's essay in Reader, and then go over here to the top right where it says Comment and click that. That will open up a sidebar, and you'll see that there are a number of little icons here. The icon that we're interested in at this moment is this one. It looks like a speaker with a little speech bubble right beside it. You click it, and then click the place in the student's essay where you want the audio comment to appear. The sound recorder box will open up, and then simply click the red circle, which will begin the recording. You can start to speak now, and this is recording what I am saying. And your recordings can be quite long. I have made recordings and inserted them as audio comments of a couple of minutes in length without any difficulty. Probably you want to keep them fairly to the point, though. Anyway, when you are done, you stop. If you want to add something further, you can. You would just click record again. And then when you're done talking, just click stop again. When you're completely done, just click OK. And you will see this little box. It will allow you to choose the different kinds of icons that you might want to appear to signal to the student that there is an audio comment there. I like this one. You can change the color. I'm going to change it to red because I think that's more noticeable. You can change the opacity, in other words, like the transparency of the icon if you want. I would leave it at 100%. And you should probably click Make Properties Default so that you don't always have to be changing the color of the icon every time you make an audio comment. And as well, if you want, you can click Locked. And that simply means that after the audio comment has been made and inserted, you can't, and the student can't, move it around. I don't think it's a big deal, so I'm just going to click OK now. And you'll see that the icon is there. Let's just click it and make sure that it's working. You can start to speak now, and this is recording what I am saying. And your recordings can be quite long. Okay, so that worked quite well, and that's really all there is to it. With audio comments, I think you can accomplish most of your feedback and commenting on a student essay. But there are other tools that you might use that can supplement that. I'll talk about those now. All of these tools, all of these commenting tools, are located here in the top right corner. And remember, we got to them by clicking on Comment, and then click the drop-down menu that says Annotations. The first icon is for a sticky note. And a sticky note is where you can type in text, and usually you would use it when you are talking about a large section of a text. In other words, if you are talking about a very specific word or sentence in a paragraph, you probably would not use sticky note. But if you were talking about an entire paragraph, then it would be best to use a sticky note because you can put it by the side of a paragraph. So for example, I click on it, I go here, I can add a comment, this is etc., etc., and there, the sticky note will appear there. Next, we have the highlight text tool. So for example, I click on it, and now I highlight some text, and it simply makes it more visible. The next tool is the Add Text Comment tool. And to use it, click it, position your cursor, and start typing. And in some ways, the Add Text Comment tool is similar to the Sticky Note tool. The main difference is that the Sticky Note tool, the student can only see what you have written if he or she puts the cursor over the icon, whereas with this tool, the text is always there. It's immediately there. Next to the Add Text Comment tool is the Attach File tool. And this allows you to attach a file to the student's essay so that when you send it back to him or her, the student will receive not only their essay but also the attached file. Typically you would use this if you wanted to provide some overall feedback that was applicable to the entire class, and that way everyone is getting the same information via the attached file. Next, we have the Record Audio tool that we talked about. And beside that, we have the Add Stamp tool, which I don't think will be relevant to most instructors. So I'm just going to move on. So the next tool is the Insert Text at Cursor tool. Click that. And choose a spot and start typing. And we go here. And now you'll see that this is a less obtrusive way of providing some written feedback. Again, it's similar to the sticky note over here, but you can be more specific about where you are intending this feedback to apply. The next tool is the Add Note to Replace Text tool. We click it. Let's say we wanted to get rid of this word, and we are suggesting that we are going to replace it with another word. And that's all we do. It strikes it out, and it puts the little arrow-shaped icon there to indicate what the replacement should be. The next tool is simply the strike-through tool. if you want to indicate that something should be omitted. Next, we have the underline tool. Then we have the Add Note to Text tool. We click it. I'm just going to choose a place at random here to show you. And it highlights the text that you've chosen. And again, you can add a comment. And it's similar to the sticky note, except that it's attached to a highlighted piece of text rather than sitting over here on the margin. So when a student puts his cursor over it, your text appears. Finally, over here, we have the text correction markup tool. And you would use this tool if you actually wanted to make changes to your student's essay. I don't think that you would, and so I'm not going to demonstrate that tool. So we've looked at a number of tools that will help you provide comments and feedback on your students' essays. The primary one that I talked about was the Insert Audio Comment tool, and it will save you a lot of time and provide better feedback, more nuanced feedback for your students. In addition to it, there are a handful of other tools that you can use to supplement the audio comment tool. And by using them in combination, I think you can make the process of marking your students' essays and providing feedback more enjoyable and also a better learning experience for your students.